Welcome to the Power Pros Entertainment Network. And my name is Jacob, and I'm here with Cam and Alex, and welcome to Game 3 of the MLB Power Pros World Series.
Hello everyone, welcome in here. If you haven't seen either of the first two games, I'm going to give you a couple seconds here before we start talking about it. 3, alright, time. But yeah, so after Game 2 here, we now saw the Fresno Flyers take Game 2 of this series, so now they are up 2-0 over the Blank Supremes, and this was a game that was dominated off of defense. Here, first off, talking about the pitching matchup here, Victor Karpov pitched a complete game, 1 run. It was honestly an incredible masterclass there by Karpov here. The great use of the battler ability here, able to make sure that the Intimidator was always being, at least suppressed a bit more here. He went the entire way through, only gave up 1 extra base hit, that home run in the 8th inning to Kevin Nogilny. But then on the fielding side of things, Corky Trask had himself one heck of a day here. He was involved, we did the math after this, right? He was involved in 8 different plays here where his number was basically called in this game. 8, to give an idea of how big that is, there are 27 outs here from innings 1 to inning 9. That means that he was involved in just under a third of every out that was included in this game. That's insane. Here, to think that one player would get that much.
Truly an incredible performance.
Before we get started here, talking a little bit about the last game and how that translates into this game, let's go over the starting lineups here for this. As now the home team and away teams have swapped. We are still at Rainbow Beach Stadium, keeping this as a neutral site location for all the games here. So, for your Fresno Flyers, leading off will be the second baseman Tyler Yates. Then it's the catcher Skip Marlowe. Jonathan Diamond is the center fielder, followed up by Van Hecken, the left fielder. After Van Hecken, it's Winnie DePoo over at third base, followed by Terry Triples at first base. Christian Yates is over in right field. He had a 2 RBI single in the last game. A.A. Ron II is the designated hitter, and rounding out the starting 9 is everyone's favorite shortstop, Corky Trask. And on the bump, therefore, the Flyers is going to be Milo Spikes. Then also your Blank Supremes, leading off will be the center fielder and Kevin Nogilny, followed up by Steve Dorff, the second baseman. Daryl Archidelt is the shortstop here, followed up by Tank Dagwell, the designated hitter, who went 3 for 4 in Game 2. Tim Sadael is the right fielder, followed up by Bob Sadugnut as the battery mates. Sleeve McDykel back over at the hot corner, followed up by Willie Dustis in left field, and Rexford Vickford is over at first base, rounding out the starting 9, and Mike Cernandez is the starting pitcher for the Blank Supremes.
So Cam, can you tell us about the ability of the day?
The ability I want to cover is Poise 4. This ability allows pitchers to avoid being rattled. So if a pitcher gives up a lot of hits, they're supposed to be rattled. But this lowers all of their abilities, kind of puts them in a very susceptible outcome. And if we're looking at what the abilities are across the teams, only the Flyers pop-up men, they have 2 pop-up men, don't have Poise 4, while all of the Blank Supremes middle relievers and sit-up man do not have Poise 4. So if they give up a lot of hits, they could be very susceptible to getting rattled and giving up a lot of runs.
And I imagine that could be a very dangerous combination with the ability Hothead, I believe.
Yes, I do not believe any player has Hothead in the World Series, thankfully. Oh no, Zach Brooks has Hop Up Man, has Hothead.
As we look into this next game here, some of the other storylines that are kind of going along with this here. One of the main players I want to bring up here as well is Tank Dagwell, who has been honestly an offensive force over the first couple games here. First game, he really struggled. And when I say force, and this time, I mean a bad force, because again, the force goes both ways. Good force, bad force. Tank Dagwell struck out 3 times in Game 1, and then in Game 2, comes back with a 3 for 4 performance here. So he's done exceptionally well. He's back as a designated hitter in this game as well. But you also take a look here, again, I'm highlighting the Blank Supremes for right now at the very least here. Now that you have Daryl Archidelt here being able to hit, he did get the first hit of the game for the Supremes back into Game 2, here after being the starting pitcher in Game 1, where he went 6 1/3 with giving up 4 hits, no runs.
And one important distinction about Archidale and Yates is Archidale doesn't have as many hitting abilities as Taylor Yates does. I believe he only has around 6 or 7 hitting abilities. So it's a very interesting mix because you have to try to get both two-way players in success mode, which is very hard as somebody who's done it.
Look, you've done it here. I don't know how the heck you guys do it. I struggled this is the first time I've done anything like this with actual saves coming and all that stuff. And I was like, how the heck are people doing this? And I basically had to be taught by a few of you guys how to do some of this. Did it work? Yeah, but doesn't mean that I'm like, does not mean I'm going to go out there making super stitches.
Yes.
Alrighty, without further ado, I think it's time we head into Game 3 of the MLB Power Pros World Series. And we are live. Game 3 of the World Series. The first pitch from Hernandez. Takes a big cut on that one. The second pitch from Hernandez. That is going to be a shallow grounder right back to Hernandez. Thrown to Vickford for the first out of the game. Up next, we have Skip Marlowe on the plate. He thinks it's going to be a ball, but it's actually a strike. The delivery gets a big cut on that salt shake here.
Another salt shake.
Hernandez did some studying with Archidale because if we can recall, Archidale also has a salt shake.
Well, they were both made by Austin.
Gets him low. That is true. Both made by Austin.
Definitely.
Jonathan Diamond up to the plate. The pitch. He's going to get a low strike here. It seems like he's really specializing in these lower pitches. Contact is made. Vickford with a leap, a jump. Very impressive show of athleticism there to get us out of the first.
Absolutely beautiful play there by Vickford. A lot of times you just put the big guy at first base, and he's like, nah, I'm going to be athletic too, and he makes a fantastic
That's why you don't have Dugnut there.
Powers in the corners. Kevin Nogilny up to bat. The first pitch. Taken for a strike, a drop curveball, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Another drop curve for a ball.
These are high, too.
I was about to bring that up. Yeah, high curveballs are always a little dangerous.
The dart, which very aptly named, that looked like a fastball. Kevin Nogilny is going to make contact. Van Hecken is not able to get there in time. Throws it to Trask to hold the runner at first.
Leadoff base hit
Dork
here
up to back.
for the Screams.
You know, after that last game, they're really going to want to make sure and that is going to be a base hit for Steve Dork, not to interrupt myself. Archidale up to the plate. You know, and I really got to give my credit. This delivery is really cool to watch from the starting pitcher here.
Definitely.
Contact is made. Jonathan Diamond's going to get there. Runners are going to go back to their bases.
One thing to notice. Go for it.
After you.
One thing to note here about Kevin Nogilny, his base hit here, that's the first base hit to start off a game that we have seen for either team in the first inning of this entire series.
That looks like it was going to be a shallow grounder. I think it bounced right in the dirt as the ball was hit. Tim Sandelli up to the plate. He has a chance to make something huge happen here. This might be one of the first times that we see a run scored in the first inning by the Blank Supremes.
Yes.
And a big chance, bases loaded.
And Sandelli does have clutch hit 5.
Well, he's really going to need it. This is a huge position. And he is going to go down looking.
You can't go down looking in that scenario. You just can't do that.
Bobson Dugnut is here to right the wrongs. He makes contact, but that is going to go right to Tyler Yates, to the first baseman, and that will get us out of the first inning.
That's a shame. Like, not even a bias there, but when you are down 2-0 in a series, you can't take strike 3 looking.
No. Van Hecken up to the plate. Hernandez with the delivery. Gets him with a 92-mile-per-hour four-seam fastball. Tries to frame him on that outside here. Van Hecken's watching these pitches very carefully.
Van Hecken here, go back into the last game here, went 1 for 4 with a run scored on a single.
That is going to be a high pop-up to Kevin Nogilny for the out.
Also, just gotta make a quick reference here. The jerseys for both teams look fantastic. Here, the all orange, the white and blue looks great.
Thank you very much, Alex. I designed these jerseys myself with input from the team captains.
You did a heck of a job.
Salt shake is going to be... Thank you so much. Vertical slider, low for a ball. Gets him with a big cut on a high and away, or excuse me, a high and inside two-seam fastball.
5 in
Perry
a row
triples,
sat down.
You know? Yeah. Hernandez is showing a very dominant presence here on the mound today.
Definitely needed after the first 2 games here for the team.
Yeah. Count is 1-1. Salt shake. This low salt shake is devious. The pop-up goes behind the home plate. Dugnut cannot get to it unless he goes into the stands. Another hit. He took that energy, faced it forward, but unfortunately, it was right to Tim Sandale in right field, and that will take us to the bottom of the second.
6 up and 6 down for Mike Hernandez so far. Looking strong. And speaking
Sleeve
of strong,
McDykel up to bat. That's just unfortunate.
Yeah, not so strong
He
there.
pops up to Skip Marlowe.
well, I mean, you didn't see the ball went about 10,000 feet in the air. It took a while for it to come back down. You know.
Willie Dust he's going to follow that up, hopefully with a little bit of a better contact. He takes the dart low. I really want to know what the dart is. A high pop-up to Jonathan Diamond that will get the second out of the inning.
Well, just so you know, the dart is usually a thing that you throw in a game, usually at bars.
Okay, so I understand the concept, of it, but I mean more in what the starting pitcher.
Yes, I understand. I know.
And that is going to go right to Trask, showing some of that defensive capabilities as he did in Game 2.
It is a original sinking fastball, level 2.
Christian Yates up to bat. So Hernandez trying to locate that low salt shake to secure some strikes. Does that vertical slider almost in the same position. With his pitch selection, he's really got a very powerful arsenal to pitch tunnel with.
Absolutely. He has looked so far fantastic today.
And he is going to get a hit. A shallow hit to Willie Dustis. Iron at the mound, at the plate.
That's the first base hit of the day here for the Flyers, and it gets rid of 6, ends a streak of 6 in a row, sat down.
The AA run is called AA run 2 because he's the second version after not meeting the rating requirements.
I believe that also happened to Joe Random the second, and if we ever get to see him, Peter Etrell the second.
Yep. It's always error reds, if I remember correctly.
It is always error resistance. If you're doing this challenge, make sure you stay 2 under. Takes a big cut and gets the strikeout.
It's the 3rd strikeout so far of the day.
Corky Trask tries to pick off the runner. He's holding him there. But if we remember anything from Game 2, I don't think anyone's going to want to run. Because both catchers are holding down the fort. The hit from Trask, that is going to go to Tim Sandale. He's going to throw it in to hold the runner at second. A base hit.
Big opportunity here.
One time through the order, just 2 hits. They both came in this inning for the bottom 3.
We're seeing a dominant performance from Hernandez.
Tyler Yates is probably the best hitter you can ask for here. The Super Sips.
That's true. A high pop-up. Willie Dustis is going for it, and he is going to catch it. Throw it to second to hold the runners in place. Dork will then throw it to Vickford just in case.
A big out number 2.
Now up, Skip Marlowe. A big out number 2 indeed. First pitch was a ball there. Second pitch coming in. Another ball. Hernandez, he might start to doubt his tactics so far. Straight to Dork for the 3rd out. I think he was starting to kind of doubt himself with those low pitches. He was having trouble locating them.
Yeah, he was having a little bit of trouble, but he was able to get out of it, trusting his defense to do the job for him.
Yeah. We are now at the top of the lineup. Kevin Nogilny, he got a signal. A broken bat, nonetheless, for a foul ball.
Give an idea, a broken bat and still hit that ball into the outfield direction. That's strength right there.
Very powerful grounder as well, but unfortunately it is going to be sent right to Terry Triples. Steve Dork up to bat. Both pitchers are really shutting down the offense, but the Blank Supremes have really, I think they've learned the right lessons from game 2.
Being too aggressive early on can really damage your team if you're not getting exactly what you want.
Yep. The second strike there almost looked like it was a wild pitch and takes a big cut on that drop curve, but he just can't connect. Archidale up to bat, the shortstop. Takes the first pitch for a ball. I think we're definitely seeing a lot more cautious eyes. That was a fair ball.
Yeah,
it was a fair ball.
It bounced off the plate. Yeah.
And it was thrown to first. Skip Marlowe with a very impressive throw. You know, it can be hard not to hit the batter in the back of the head.
Definitely. It's a tough play to make.
Trying to throw to first, yeah, but really great athleticism. And I will now pass over to Alex.
All right, thank you very much. As now we have Jonathan Diamond here facing off against Mike Hernandez. The first pitch on the way, the two-seamer that misses low. Count goes to 1-0. Diamond is 0 for 1 on the day. Next pitch, 2-0. Had that great line drive over to Vickford there for the out. 3-0 early count here as the next pitch on the way, taken all the way for a strike. Did not have the green light. 3-1 next on the way. Another two-seamer that makes the count full. Now 3-2. Payoff on the way. It's a ground ball in the infield taken by Sleeve McDykel. Throws over to first across the diamond. And an easy 5-3 in the books, as that will now bring up the left fielder Van Hecken. First pitch strike count goes to 0-1.
Hernandez is really putting on a symposium here. He's shutting down the offense. He's getting them to hit shallow. That would have been really awkward if that foul ball was a fair hit.
You know, hey, that the commentator's curse, right? 0-2.
Yep.
Misses outside. Van Hecken last time flew out to the center field during No Gilney. Now a liner into center field goes right back to No Gilney, but this time it's going to go off of a hop for a base hit, and that's going to be the first base of the day for Van Hecken.
Van Hecken and No Gilney, you know, they're really being postmates. They're sending letters back and forth with these hits and fielders.
Got maybe a little bit of a friendship going on there. 2-0 the count. Next pitch on the way, taken for a ball, throw down to second base, and it is in time, excuse me. Van Hecken caught stealing, and now there's 2 outs here with a 3-0 count. Next pitch, vertical slider, taken for a strike. Still, no successful steals in the last couple games. Now swung on and miss off the salt shake. Brings the count now full 2. No left to put a dot on the scoreboard. A ground ball into left field for a base hit. Past the outstretched glove to Sleeve McDykel and taken by Willie Dustis. So the inning will continue here, and that'll bring up Terry Triples. Next pitch on the way, taken for a strike count, goes to 0-1, Triples 0 for 1 on the day. Now hits a ground ball taken deep in the field by Archidale, throws over to first in time for the out, and that will end the inning. So no runs off of 2 hits, no errors, and 1 man left on. We head to the bottom half of the 4th. No score here from Rainbow Beach Stadium. So now Tank Dagwell coming up here to face off against Milo Spikes. First pitch is a ball, and then the next one taken for a strike. A couple of fastballs there. Dagwell got a singles last time up, but now has a deep shot into left field. Going back is Van Hecken, just shy of the warning track. He's there, and he makes the grab for the first out. So now that'll bring...
Tim Sendelli struck out at his last time, I bet.
Tim Sendelli here. Next pitch on the way. Ground ball. That one will just go fouled on third baseline. Struck out looking again. That's one of the things that we've seen a lot in this series. Is now we have a pop up right back up the middle. As that's going to be Milo Spikes, the pitcher, taking it himself for the out. And 2 quick outs here on the 4th. As that'll bring up the catcher, Bobson Dugnut.
Very aggressive batting stance, to say the least.
You don't say, definitely. 2-1 now the count. Here's the next pitch on the way. 2-2 hits him with the dart once more. 2-2-2. Wilds are the deuces. As now it's a line drive into left center field for a base hit right over the head of Corky Trask, and that's a 2-out base hit for Bobson Dugnut, and that'll bring up the one-handed Sleeve McDykel. First pitch is a dart taken for a strike, the lower part of the zone. Sleeve McDykel's last time I hit a pop right back to the catcher. This time it's a ground ball to the shortstop Trask. He's there and makes the play over to first in time for the out. So no runs off of 1 hit, no errors, and 1 man left on. Heading to the 5th. No score.
He seemed kind of upset with the umpire on that first pitch there, that low strike. He disagreed with the call, to say the least.
And I think we have to do an endurance watch on Hernandez here. He does not have Battler, so he will be affected by Intimidator.
More likely means we'll be seeing a relief pitcher at some point in this game. As the next pitch taken for a ball, 2-1 the count. Christian Yates up. He's 1 for 1 with a single. Count now 3-1 here. So Hernandez having a little trouble finding the zone. Next pitch, a high pop-up into shallow center field. Coming in is No Gilney. He's there, just makes the catch. Just about an inch off the ground for the first out of the inning. As that'll bring him AA run the second.
Hernandez is really being a performer. He's building the ante by throwing 3 balls. So as a batter, you'd think he couldn't hit the broadside of a barn. But then he throws strikes, and then the batter gets out.
Brilliant deduction on that one. Honestly, it's very possible with a lot of players in the Power Pros universe. 1-2. Ground ball up the middle, taken there by Archidel. He has it, throws over to first in time for the out. Now 2 outs here in the top half of the 5th, as that'll bring up Corky Trask. Next pitch on the way, taken for a strike. Count goes to 0-1. Trask a single. His last time up has 4 straight hits going back into the last game. Has a high pop-up. This might be enough for a hit. Isaiah Sleep McDykel will just eat it on that one. That's going to be another infield base hit. Another single for Corky Trask. Now line drive into left field, a base hit here. So now that's going to go all the way to the wall. Willie Dustis will field it, throws it in, and that's going to be a double here for Tyler Yates. The first extra base hit we've seen of the day here for the Fresno Flyers. And now the Flyers have 2 runners on in scoring position with 2 outs here in the 5th. And that's going to bring up the catcher and Skip Marlowe.
Skip Marlowe here has clutch at 5. He also has back-to-back hitter, so he has some abilities going on here.
Quickly now back down 0-2. Marlowe next pitch on the way, misses on the vertical slider. 1-2 now. Hernandez gonna have to be careful here, as now it's a 2-2 count. Starter show signs of fatigue. The next pitch gets him on the low salt shake, and that will end the inning. Talk about ice in the veins. That is the second strikeout looking there against Skip Marlowe, and that will bring the end of the inning here with no runs off of 2 hits, no errors, and 2 men left on, heading now to the bottom half of the inning. As now Willie Dustis leads things up. Fair ball, line right down the right field line. It's going to roll all the way to the wall. Yates fields it, throws it in. Sliding head first, though, is going to be Willie Dustis, who gets a double here. That is the first extra base hit of the day here. Also for the Blake Supremes, is now with nobody out, they have a runner on scoring position.
Man, what an impressive hit. At first, I didn't even think that was fair. It must have just barely stayed fair in the course. But really ran it out effectively.
That one was right down the line, may have bounced over the bag. There's the next pitch fouled off, 1-1 the count. Make it 2-1 after the dart misses. But a big chance here for the Blank Supremes. The drop curve swung on and missed, 2-2. Next pitch on the way for Spike, swung on and missed. A big strikeout there for Vickford, as now that'll bring him No Gilney, who had a home run back in last game. And now he has a drive into left field. That's going to go for a base hit into the gap. Finding its way to the wall, fielding it now is Heckett. Throws it in, and that is an RBI double, and the Blank Supremes have taken a 1-run lead, 1-0 here in the 5th. As now that will bring up here Steve Dork. First pitch count is a foul ball. Now the next one fouls it off again, bounces up. 1-1 now the count.
Kevin O'Gilney is staying a producer of runs. Like you mentioned, he got that home run last game, and now with this getting the first run of the game, full count.
Full count, 3-2 now. Runner second base, a quick pickoff over to second base. I don't think anyone's going to try and make that stolen base attempt here. Now it's a ground ball to the shortstop, throws over third in time for the out. That was a gutsy play there by Christian Yates.
Tyler Yates.
Excuse me, that's Tyler Yates. Excuse me. Now a deep drive, right field. That one is gone. Daryl Archidel with a mammoth 2-run home run down the right field line, and now the Blake Supremes lead this one a score of 3-0, and that ball was mashed.
Now they're playing baseball. It feels like they've really woken up now.
And Milo Spikes had lost his battler ability, and he's lost it for the whole game now. Now he's given up more than 2 runs.
Big for the Blake Supremes, still down 2-0 in the series. His next pitch taken for strike 3, and that will end the inning, but 3 runs in for the Blake Supremes as they take a 3-0 lead heading into the 6th inning. As now Jonathan Diamond will lead things off here for the Fresno Flyers. A broken bat pop-up into shallow left center field. Going for his Archidale. That's going to fall in for a base hit. Broken bat single there for Jonathan Diamond. As now they'll bring up Van Hecken to the dish.
I hope they've got somebody warming up because Hernandez, every pitch, he's wiping that sweat off his brow. I hope they've got someone ready.
I'm a little
Because
surprised.
if he gets fatigued out and he gets caught in like a no-out situation, it could be really bad for him.
I'm really surprised they didn't bring in someone to relieve him here as the next pitch on the way. Swung on and missed. A big strikeout there, and now he's gasping for breath. That's going to do it for Mike Hernandez, as now that is going to bring up Grukok up to the mound here, the next pitcher on the way. Here, that's going to be Jacobrmiller Grukok.
I believe that's a Scottish name.
More than likely, sounds about right, as the next pitch on the way is the Adderall, his special pitch. There counts for a strike. Now 0-1 with one out here in the sixth. Next pitch swung on and missed on the slow Adderall. 0-2 on the way. The next one, a high pop-up, but still in the infield. Right there is Dork. Doesn't even have to move very much. He's there, makes the grab, does a throw over to first base, seeing if God the Diamond's doing anything. He isn't, but that's 2 outs. But now a line drive into right center field. That's going to go for a base hit. Sandoval fields it, throws it in. There's going to be a play at second base. The throw in is in time. What an assist there from the outfield. And that will end the inning. So no runs off of 2 hits, no errors, and 1 man left on, heading to the bottom half of the 6th inning.
Oopsie, Spikes again.
Let's see. Milo Spikes comes up here, first pitch, taken for a ball. Count goes to 1-0 to Tim Sandoval. Now goes 2-0 here as the Blake Supremes have a big chance to capitalize, as also brought up earlier with the battler ability now being gone. 2-1 the count. Now bottom half of the 6th inning, 3-0 is your score with the Blake Supremes ahead. 2-2.
That dart pitch of Spikes, that's got to be like a sinking fastball.
Yeah, so level 2
That's
sinking
something like that. He's
fastball.
gonna try. And he tries to stretch it to 2, and he is going to pay off that one as Diamond gets it in, but he's going to be out at second base. A beautiful play on that one, as now that'll bring up Bobson Dugnut. 1-1 now the count, 1 out.
Pride goeth before the fall. We probably shouldn't have done that.
We've now seen that on both ends. Here, both teams trying to stretch that single into a double, which makes sense with how limited offense has been, as that's a ground ball right over to triples, as he'll take it to the bag himself for the easy 3 unassisted.
Spikes is showing fatigue.
Yeah. McDougall was not happy with that first strike count there. You saw him look back at the umpire like, are you kidding me?
Yep, then fouled the next pitch into the glove of the catcher that swung on and missed, strike 3, and that will end the inning. So no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left on. We head to the 7th. Pass things back over to Jacob.
Thank you, Alex. Grukok up on the mound. He only has 1 pitch, and that is the Adderall. As we see here, 72 miles per hour, delivered in there for a ball.
If you have Adderall, what else
Got
do
a
you need?
nice slow windup.
If it works, it works, man. Yeah.
Yeah. He's trying to make the most of it, especially with his top speed, I believe, only being 86. He has to really get them to swing low or just get them to not swing at all. And he gets him to swing for the first strikeout from his appearance.
Yeah, that's the first.
AA Ron the second up to bat. You know, this Adderall pitch of his is really something else.
It feels like it's a knuckleball of some kind, but it doesn't move like a knuckleball would.
And like just seeing how the 4-seam fastball is delivered in there, you can so cleverly hide it. Oh, it's going. It's gone. AA Ron hits a home run, putting the H in DH, and that will put the Fresno Flyers on the board. The score is now 3-1. 3 Supremes, 1 Flyers. Here's a replay here. You see that ball is just crushed.
Absolutely
Yeah.
destroyed.
That's the dangers of having 1 pitch besides your fastball, and your fastball being the way it is.
Yeah.
Not to be a hater. I could do no better.
No, you're
But
you're spitting facts right now. You're spitting facts.
gets him to cut on the Adderall. It's like when it's working, it's really working in his favor here. Takes a big cut. That's going to be a pop-up to Dork. He's going back, and he catches it. Just a little shy of a home run there. And Tyler Yates up to bat.
And oh my God!
Tyler Yates with a home run. Sorry to laugh. It's impossible to believe. Not really. Tyler Yates, I believe, is the Fresno Flyers super stitch. Similar to how Archidale just like opened this can of worms right up.
That ball.
There it goes.
Legitimately, that ball left not just the yard, that left the stadium.
Skip Marlowe up to bat. He's currently 0-3. He's holding the bat up. He's like, hey, I'm here to mean business. First pitch is going to be thrown in there. The Adderall at 74 miles per hour.
He's holding the bat up there saying,
tip.
hey, show me the Adderall. Let's see what I can do with it. Because he's already seen 2 home runs hit off of it.
Yeah, if I'm Aki right now, if I'm in the dugout, I'm calling the bench. Ball is going to be fielded right back, thrown to Vickford, and that will get us out of the inning. A very explosive inning for the Flyers. It's like a switch flipped for the whole team in that moment.
Absolutely.
They're like, all right, we're here. We're here to play baseball.
As opposed to playing something like, I don't know, women's lacrosse.
They're playing Tetris, right?
I mean, that sounds
Tetris or
also
bird
accurate,
watching,
yeah.
or any other kind of sport that would. This is long and drawn out.
Well, we're also
I'm
trying to play it over take me out to the ball game.
Yeah.
But anyway, no, like, here's the thing is, right, when you have those kinds of pitches, you have to be careful. Because if you don't have velocity, you gotta have movement. If you don't have movement, you gotta have velocity. If you don't have either, the ball's being tatered.
Spikes is
starting to show some fatigue here. Yeah. That ball is crushed. Will it stay fair? It stays fair. Willie Dustis with a 429-foot bomb to open the inning. If I didn't know any better, I'd say that was the last pitch of Spike's outing.
It just might be, but you take a look at that one here. He just found his pitch and absolutely crushed it, curving right around the foul pole. We've now seen 3 home runs in the last inning alone.
Kind of baffling decision by Stinky to let him stay in there.
Well, it may have worked there with the
Hey,
ground
you
out.
know, he believes in him. You know, with the power of friendship, Kevin O'Gilney. He hits the ball and is able to get by Trask. Runner on first. Scott. Steve Dork up to bat.
Really does believe in him right now.
His name is not Scott. It's never been Scott. I don't know why I said Scott.
It's all
Either
good.
way. He's watching his pitches carefully. They have a real chance to open this game up here. Tries to go in for the bunt. The throw is in time. Kevin O'Gilney could not snag an extra base.
There are still no steals in this game, in this series.
You know, this game so far, I feel like it's really been encapsulated in the saying, pride goeth before the fall. You know, we're seeing a lot of really bombastic attempts that aren't really paying off for the players. And it appears that Spikes is going to be taken out of the game, and Piglet will replace him.
Yeah, for Spikes. Now, he has gone 6 2/3 here through this. 6 1/3 here. He's still responsible
2
for Steve Dork, who's on at first.
Archidale up to bat. He hit a home run in his last plate appearance, partially responsible for starting the rally that got them up this far. Takes a strike low. 3 balls, 1 strike. That's the count. He takes a reasonable cut, not a big cut, a reasonable cut, and he grounds out at first. But wow, what? Only 1 run, but just looking at the scoreboard doesn't do it justice. Really explosive plays here.
Absolutely. Looks like we're going to have a new pitcher as well here, as it's going to be Sweeney who's going to come in to pitch.
Sweeney's the closer.
Oh,
for this
Sweeney
team.
is the designated closer. It's a bit strange to bring him in so soon, but it really goes to show they're trying to lock this game down before you'd even send in a closer.
Maybe try to go for the 2 outs, the 2 inning save here as the first pitch swung on and missed.
Sweeney
Yeah.
does have beast stamina.
Kevin O'Gilney is going to get there, throw it into Dork, going to hold the runner at first. Van Hecken, he has hit to Kevin O'Gilney in his last 2 plate appearances, so let's see if they keep this pen pals thing going. The pitch. With his custom pitch, the sweeping, he's really trying to make the batters afraid and pitching inside. Van Hecken's going to get it to Vickford. Vickford will hold on to the ball. It makes sense to hold on to the ball in that situation. It appears Van Hecken's being subbed out for Watkins as a pinch.
Not sure if I agree with Stinky's decision there.
You know, it's hard to say what could go through the minds of a manager in a position like this.
Heavy stress at any given moment here, but trying to get some good speed on the base paths there is never a bad idea.
Yeah. Sweeney's windup, really, it reminds me of it's almost like a Chapman style windup. We were just talking about him
earlier, yeah. Also, I've just noticed I'm noticing that Terry Triples has the Ichiro batting stance here, just as a righty.
Gets the sweeping in there for strike one. The count is 2-2. That appeared to be a wild pitch there, but Dugnut was able to keep it in control, and he gets the strikeout.
That's a huge strikeout right there.
Oswimi repping the retired number of 42. Throws a knuckle in there for strike one. Gets a foul tip. He's really doing a great job of holding these batters accountable. His pitches are going a little wild. Like, you can see the look on Dugnut's face when some of these are coming in. The pop up to no Gilney, he catches it, and that will end the inning.
So Sweeney comes in, gives up 2 base hits, and then strikes out 2, and then gets a fly out here. Gets into a jam, and then gets right back out of it.
He really is putting the P in pitcher. It looks like we're having some defensive substitutions here.
So we're putting Diamond in the right, who's not a right fielder, and Watkins in center.
Tank Dagwell up to bat. He is going to be able to foul tip it. Skip Marlowe, he's going up there. He's putting a hand on the wall, and he catches the ball. He could not put the H in DH.
Could not on that time, but the CSNDL could put the right in right fielder.
That is true, or the left, or the center. Yeah, who knows where the ball's going to go. The pitch takes a big cut. It's going, gone! Tim Sandele smashes that ball out of the park, 383 feet. That will make the score 5-2.
I mean, I said right field, but he made this throw that ball left right out of the field.
Piglet's custom pitch to the honey pot, gets him low for a strike. Throws another splitter low for the first ball. The ball bounces over Trask's head. Dugnut, he's going to round. He's like, I might do it, I might not. And then he chooses not to. Steve McDykel up to bat. He struck out in his last plate appearance. He's got a big chance to make something happen. I don't want to say that he hasn't made stuff happen in this series, but he's got a big potential to make it happen here. The hit, for a shallow hit, Dugnut goes to second. McDykel makes it to first.
I do believe that's actually McDykel's first hit of this series. Yes.
Oh, wow. I had a feeling that was the case, but I know that you made him out.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, no. We're all good.
I didn't want to say, yeah.
Don't worry, no, I see where I'm waiting for next game. That's where my thing's at.
Yeah.
Count is 3-1. 3-2. Piglet's having a really tough time here keeping the Blank Supremes under control. An incredible catch by Terry Triples right there to catch the ball.
And a big out number 2 there for it to now make it so then any kind of hit now is going to have to make the runners always be running no matter what.
We got a wild pitch. That makes his situation a little bit worse. 2 runners in scoring position.
We're going to see a walk here?
Count is 3-0 right now. We might see a walk. We might see a hit. We might even see a strikeout. The count is 3-2. Vickford, he's going to get a piece of it. And he will not make it to first in time. That ending the 8th inning. Man, you're only seeing 1 run here on this scoreboard, but this team's synergy has really started to come to life.
This is a big at bat for these team here.
Top of the 9th.
Hey, Ron.
Oh, ho, ho.
Ambushes Oswimi. First pitch for a home run. The Fresno Flyers saw what the Springs were doing and said, okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
And they're responding with that same energy.
I'm not sure if Sweeney should be staying in the game now at this point here. He's given up 3 hits, and now one of them being a home run here in the 9th inning. I know he's a designated closer, but I don't know how much longer you want to have him stay in the game at this rate.
It's going back. Kevin Nogilny is going to be there. Tyler Yates. He had a home run in his last plate appearance. So Oswemi's really got to be careful here. He gets the strike with the Sweeman. Gets the ball with the Sweeman. Gets that 4-seam fastball. He's not a particularly fast pitcher, but his ability to locate is really shining here.
Absolutely. Ooh, that looked good to me.
Full
here.
count. And he is going to get his first walk of the game, and I believe that's one of the first walks we've seen today.
I believe that is the second. I'll check that in a bit.
Thank you, Alex. Skip Marlowe up to the plate. The Fresno Flyers are 3-5. Pop up.
Oh, don't get caught here.
Vickford is going to be there. Can he tag?
Almost. That was interesting.
For a minute, I thought he was just going to catch it and then just like smack the other guy that was right next to him, but
so I've confirmed that was that was the second walk of the game.
Thank you. It's hit. McDykel gets the ball, and he is going to hold on to it. It's a fair play. You don't want to overshoot. Jay Watkins up to bat. I believe he came in as an offensive replacement. That ball is going to hit shallow. Nogilny to home. The throw is not in time. The score is 5-4.
And that's going to bring up a pitch.
G.A. Mixon.
They keep going to Mixon. They keep going to Mixon.
Oh, this is like watching Jordan Hicks come out.
It's like watching Fernando Rodney come out. Let's be honest here.
The pitch. And Winnie the Pooh has shown himself to be a formidable hitter, so they could open this game right up.
Oh.
And seeing that strong of a foul ball is not a good sign. Oh my God.
He did it twice. Is it gone?
Willie Dustis, he goes back.
Oh my God. What a
The
play.
Supremes win it.
Willie
5-4.
Dustis.
Willie Dustis, the human spider.
And how can Willie Dustis not get player of the game here? He hit the home run. He caught the
Oh my God.
game-winning set catch.
That was electric.
That was incredible. Willie Dustis just saved the game defensively there for the Blank Supremes to get their first win. That was going over the fence. That would have been on a 3-run home run, giving the Fresno Flyers a 2-run lead here going to the bottom of the 9th, and he just said, no, we're not doing this again. What a play by Willie Dustis.
Kevin Nogilny is going to be getting the player of the game here because he did knock in the winning run with a hit in the bottom of the 5th.
Yeah,
but I mean,
no, I'm sorry. It's Willie Dustis.
Yes.
Like, I'm sorry, game. Willie Dustis just destroyed this. On top of it, offensively, too, he also went 2 for 4 with 2 runs scored in RBI and 2 extra base hits, a double and a homer. No,
man, you know, to be biased,
yeah.
it's really good to see the Supremes come into themselves offensively.
Absolutely.
I think this is really the first game of good baseball that they've played in this series. So now the Flyers have won 2, the Supremes have won 1. Really, anything could happen in these next games.
Anything could happen. And man, I gotta tell you, this has been such an interesting game here, because on this one, it felt like it was Supremes all game long here, but they started to give, a little bit of wiggle room there to the Fresno Flyers. They started giving up, a few more hits here there. Then the 7th inning, giving up the 2 home runs there from Grukok here, both to Aaron II and Tyler Yates. Like, okay, you know what? The Supremes still in control. They still look like they're good to go. Then the 8th inning, giving up the 2 base hits. Like, okay, something's wrong here. Something's not 100% here. Then you go to the 9th inning and the leadoff home run there by Aaron II, who, by the way, had 2 home runs today. So credit to Aaron II. At that point, you're like, oh no, what's going on here? And then you see Mixon. Yeah, and no disrespect to Mixon on that, but he's now been in all 3 games of the series, and in that time, he has not looked the best. So,
to take credit for it, I can talk poorly about Mixon. I made him. It's scary at this point after those first 2 game appearances. Like, okay, my team is winning. Aw, it's Mixon. But Willie Dustis, the short time he was there, he was really able to rely on his defense, which I feel like in the first 2 games he might have lacked a little bit.
This was definitely one of those games where as you watch it more and more and more, it felt like it was a drama. It had that drama curve to it, where you got all the way to the end of it. It felt almost predictable for a little while, but afterwards it was... honestly, this was a masterclass game. Like, it was a symposium game, it was a lecture game, whatever kind of classroom analogy you want to use for this one. This is one that you would want to watch back here, and this could be the moment that the Blank Supremes really turn it around into being champions. Because you take a look at how game 1 went, right? The Blank Supremes held the lead all the way throughout and then lost it in the end. Game 2, they never had control of the game, basically. It was all Flyers. This game, they almost had the same disease that happened in game 1 and just said, not this time here, and we're able to pull it out at the very end. Because I gotta be honest, when I saw that ball flying, I had no faith that it was going to be robbed. And Willie Dustis said, I am in control now, and snagged that one, looking like beautiful. And
I believe Winnie the Pooh also hit the game-winning home run in the first game as well, if I am correct in my memory.
I will checking that out right now here for the Flyers and
because
yes, it was a 2-run home run by Winnie the Pooh. Yes.
Seeing him come back up to the plate, Ron the second hitting that leadoff homer, you're like, and especially seeing the ball hit as hard as it was going out.
Yeah,
scary.
And Willie Dustis doesn't even have spider catch.
Wow,
that's how amazing it
is. And he just made a beautiful play against all odds.
I believe one of the only people with spider catch on the Blank Supremes is Dean Wesry, who we have not seen yet, the backup catcher and backup first baseman, and I think I got it on accident.
Wait, say that one more time?
I think one of the only people that have the spider catch ability is Dean Wesry, who we haven't even seen in the game yet, and he's a catcher, so he's not even going to use it.
I think Nagel and let's see, Nagel and
why would you even need spider catch at that point? Yeah,
it's either
Nagel
I can't remember.
Hank Dugwell. Hank Dugwell has spider catch,
What?
Yeah.
Why? Why does Tank
Big spider.
Tank is the biggest spider of all of them.
The wolf spider.
Oh, he is the best spider.
Yeah, when you're on DH, you gotta practice something, I
think that this is the big turning point, I would say, potentially for the Blank Supremes here. But tomorrow's matchup here, the next matchup here is going to be Dicky Lovelady versus Eeyore. So,
and Dicky Lovelady is the best in season mode sims, at least. He has the most abilities on the team, other than Archidel, so it'll be a good game.
Be very interesting. He one of my creations. So if he fails, then I'm just gonna blame Mackie. It's fine. No. Anyway, other than that, I'm looking forward to the next game. 2-1 now the series between the Fresno Flyers and the Blank Supremes.
This has been the Power Professionals Entertainment Network. Thank you all for watching, and stay tuned for Game 4.